the freeze frame master. Football is chaos, but Haaland plays like he's watching it in slow motion. Every attack, he takes a mental snapshot of the pitch. The backline, the ball, the angle of the passer, the defender's hips. Then he freezes. He doesn't sprint early like most strikers. He waits, still calculating, cold. Right when defenders take that tiny step forward, he moves. It's milliseconds of difference, but that's all it takes to go from caught offside to clean through. Where others gamble, Haaland measures. His patience is terrifying. He turns offside traps into open goals, and it's not luck. He's done this since his Salzburg days, where half his Champions League goals came from waiting half a beat longer than defenders could process. By the time they looked up, he was already celebrating. The blind spot hunter. Most strikers stand in front of defenders. Haaland hides behind them. He lives in the one place defenders can't see, their blind spot, right on the edge of their shoulder, just out of sight, just far enough to make them think he's gone. Then the second they turn to look, he's already moving. This isn't luck, it's geometry. Defenders look at the ball, not the runner. So Haaland positions himself in the invisible line between both. That's why on every slow motion replay, you see him appear out of nowhere like he just teleported. He didn't. He just existed where no one was watching. And the scary part? He learned this from the greats. Filippo Inzaghi made a career of living in that space. Jamie Vardy built Leicester's title run on it. But Haaland combines that with size, strength, and speed those guys never had. It's hide and seek, only he's hiding in plain sight. The body angle trick. Here's something you might have missed. Haaland almost never looks like he's about to sprint. When he's near the last defender, his body stays relaxed. Shoulders square, no tension, no giveaway. It tricks defenders into dropping their focus. The moment the pass starts, boom, he explodes. That half second of disguise is lethal. Even elite defenders like Van Dijk or Rudiger fall for it because they're trained to react to movement. And Haaland only gives them 1 microsecond to do it. That's not just athleticism, that's acting. Oscar-level deception on a football pitch. And it's why defenders describe marking him as mental torture. Because for 89 minutes, he looks calm, casual, almost lazy. And then for 1 second, he's a rocket. That second is all he needs. He studies the offside line like a scientist. Haaland doesn't play football on instinct alone. He studies patterns. When he arrived at Manchester City, he reportedly spent hours reviewing clips of Premier League defenses. How high they push up, who calls the line, who's slow to step. It's data-driven finishing. He learns each team's timing and adjusts. If he knows Arsenal's line is aggressive, he waits half a beat longer. If it's a deeper defense like Newcastle's, he moves earlier. It's not luck, it's reconnaissance. Haaland treats the offside line like it's a lab experiment, and he's the scientist setting the trap. This is why he looks lucky to fans, but defenders know the truth. He's already done the math before the ball is kicked. The delayed run superpower. Most strikers panic when the ball is about to be played. They rush. Haaland does the opposite. He delays his run just long enough for the passer to commit. Then he breaks the line as the ball is in motion, not before it's kicked. This means the offside flag almost never goes up, because the ball and the body move in perfect sync. Until this year, it was like he and Kevin De Bruyne shared Wi-Fi. The ball leaves KDB's boot exactly when Haaland starts running. Defenders have no time to react. They turn their heads and he's gone. The delayed run isn't hesitation, it's murderous timing. That's why Guardiola calls him different. It's not just speed, it's synchronization. He reads defenders, not lines. Ask most strikers how they avoid offsides, and they'll say, I look at the line. Haaland doesn't. He looks at the defender's feet. Because defenders move before the line does. When the center back shifts forward or turns sideways, that's his cue. He doesn't need to stare at a chalk line. He just watches body language. That's why he always breaks runs at perfect moments. He reads football like poker. And defenders' hips are the biggest tells in the game. One wrong shuffle, one bad body angle, and Haaland is already gone. The telepathic chemistry. It's not just Haaland, it's the people feeding him. At Manchester City, he's surrounded by football's smartest passers, Silva and Foden, players who see his run before anyone else, and they trust him completely. They don't even look half the time, they just play the ball, knowing he'll be there. That trust makes offside traps useless, because most strikers are late. Haaland's already gone, he's not reacting to the ball, He's in sync with it. It's almost unfair, like he's connected to City's midfield via Bluetooth, and the numbers back it up. The majority of his goals come from first-time finishes because the pass arrives exactly where he wants it. Timing plus chemistry equals inevitability. The acceleration trick. You know that scene in racing movies where the car suddenly hits turbo. That's Haaland every time he runs behind the line. Defenders think they're matching his pace until he shifts gears. That acceleration from 0 to top speed in 2 strides is the reason he's barely onside on so many goals. He times his run to perfection, but it's his burst that finishes the job. Even if he starts level, he's 2 meters clear before you blink. That's not normal speed, that's predator speed. You can't teach that, you can only suffer it. Pep's tactical science. At City, Haaland doesn't just have timing, he has structure. Pep Guardiola's system creates offside-proof zones. The wingers stay wide, stretching the backline. Midfielders hold the ball just long enough to freeze defenders, and Haaland floats between the center backs. Never committing, never stationary. Pep's geometry does half the work. By the time defenders realize where Haaland is, the ball's already flying over their heads. That's why he scores so many tap-ins. They're not lucky rebounds. They're the result of positioning calculated down to the centimeter. It's not chaos, it's architecture. And Haaland is the skyscraper rising out of it. The fear factor. Sometimes it's not about timing, it's about intimidation. Defenders are scared of Haaland, so they drop deeper to avoid being caught flat-footed. But that gives City's playmakers space to operate. It's a psychological trap. Step up, he punishes you. Stay deep, he suffocates you. He's changed how defenses think. The offside trap doesn't work because no one dares to try it anymore. That's what true dominance looks like, when fear itself becomes part of your tactics. The cold-blooded composure. Here's the thing, most strikers panic when they think they're offside. They hesitate, stop, or look at the linesman. Haaland never does. He finishes every chance like it's valid. Even if the flag goes up, he still buries it. And half the time, VAR proves he was right all along. That confidence isn't arrogance, it's muscle memory. He doesn't waste a second doubting himself. He plays to the whistle, and that's why he always looks unstoppable. The lineage of precision. Erling Haaland didn't invent timing, he inherited it. His father, Alf-Inge Haaland, was a defender in the Premier League. He grew up learning exactly how backlines move, how traps work, where gaps open. He learned the science of the offside rule from the other side of it. That knowledge is priceless. He's not just outsmarting defenders. He's using their own instincts against them like a hacker who knows the system because he helped build it. The VAR-proof striker. In the modern era, VAR kills most goals by inches, but Haaland's timing is so clean that even the robots struggle to catch him out. His runs are straight, his body leans perfectly in sync with the ball, and he rarely sticks a leg too early. That's not luck, that's biomechanics. His entire running posture is built to minimize offside risk. Torso upright, shoulders aligned, feet planted right at the edge. He's a machine optimized for a rule book. Football's first truly VAR-resistant striker. Erling Haaland doesn't just avoid offsides. He's redefined how a modern striker moves. He's not waiting for the ball. He's calculating probabilities. He's not chasing defenders. He's herding them, using space, fear, and data. He's what happens when human instinct meets algorithmic precision. Every run, every goal, every movement is rehearsed to milliseconds. He's proof that timing can be an art form, and that sometimes the deadliest weapon in football isn't flair, it's patience. So the next time Haaland scores and you think, wasn't he offside? The answer's always the same. No. He wasn't lucky, he wasn't guessing, he knew. Because Erling Haaland doesn't play on the edge of the line, he owns it. And until defenders evolve, he'll keep breaking records without breaking the rule. That's not magic. That's precision-engineered destruction. That's Haaland.